of them died instantly, but a few had time to go quietly nuts.
Houston, we have a problem.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was in the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping, traveling with him. I guess we traveled 17,000 miles when I was vice president. I don't know that for a fact. I hope this experience for the speaker has been one of a personal revelation. I'm not being facetious. Anyway.
But let's always take a moment to also see what we have achieved thus far, while we clearly see the moment that we are presently in. So we have achieved a lot.
I want to be clear. I'm not going nuts. I'm not sure whether it was a medical school or where the hell I spoke, but it was on a campus. I propose, and I'm going to digress slightly. We're in a situation. The president asked me to head up a cancer moonshot. Another country and annexed a significant portion of it called Crimea. He's saying that it was my boss, it was his fault. Guatemala, El Salvador, and just to go in and say in Honduras and say, look, I took on Putin in terms of Iraq. In terms of what was going on in Ukraine. By strengthening, by investing $100 billion in education.
Oh, jackpot!
But when you present the suggestion that anyone is saying that it is time for a new generation, and they're running against the person who is president, and when presented as though it's an attack, I would like to let us all be clear that the attack is misplaced. If the point of it is that we need leadership that is strong, because we have a strong leader in Joe Biden.
Thank you very much, Madam Vice President.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
True international effort to pressure. A guy driving a truck hit anyway, knocked down a whole bridge and the whole block, 4 lanes of the highway.
You need to get to go and need to be able to get where you need to go to do the work and get home. The significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time. Well, I think culture is, it is a reflection of our moment and our time, right? And present culture is the way we express how we're feeling about the moment. And we should always find times to express how we feel about the moment that is a reflection of joy, because, you know, it comes in the morning.
If you try anything to raise the cost of precision jobs, I will veto it. More timber has been burned that I've observed from helicopters than the entire state of Missouri. Name me a world leader who changed places with Xi Jinping. Name me one. Name me one.
You know, he reminds me of that guy in The Wizard of Oz. You know, when you pull back the curtain, it's a really small dude.
But American automobiles couldn't make enough cars because there weren't enough chips. Car prices went up, people got laid off. So did everything from refrigerators to cell phones.
We did it, Joe. I said to the congressman, I didn't know he could preach like that.
We cheer for Muslim athletes like Kareem and Joan Shingang, Shanga Kawawa. Ban on transgender Americans.
Mr. President, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate
it's great to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Don't go anywhere. It's a very exciting day around here. We'll have reaction.
I met alone with him, just he and I, and a simultaneous interpreter 68 times, 68 hours, 68 times, more than 68 hours. All right, God save the Queen, man.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. We really appreciate it, and we love you. Thank you.
You know, it represented the moment we walked away from how this country was built when we got into the trickle-down theories.
In particular, in dealing with the various issues that are present when we look at the climate crisis, thinking about water policy, diversifying water policy, understanding that we must have the ability to diversify our approach and the resources to everything from what we do in terms of conservation to recycling, desalination, and storage of water. This plant and this facility in particular is doing some of the smartest and the most contemporary kind of work that is necessary to store water, understanding that the climate crisis presents exactly what we've experienced here in California. We're going to have days, and sometimes there will be days of immense water, of rain, of storms, of flooding, and at the same time we are a state that has experienced for generations drought. And we must therefore understand that the issues that are present in the climate crisis are varied, and it requires us to be present and to be in front of each of the iterations and variations that include extreme weather that produces a lot of water and extreme weather that produces drought.
And Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys.
I feel very strongly about the importance as a general matter of engaging in U.S. policy as it relates to foreign affairs in a way that we pay attention, of course, to the immediate concerns and threats if they exist, but that we also pay attention to 10, 20, 30 years down the line and what we are developing now that will be to the benefit of our country then.
I'm sick of this stuff.
Everything is in context. My mother she would give us a hard time sometimes, and she would say to us, I don't know what's wrong with you young people. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you.
All men and women created by go. You know the thing. And let's see. I'll just follow my orders here. Staff, if anybody hasn't spoken, I ain't calling on you. I'll call on. I said there are 5 questions. Anita, BOA. Turn on the television, and there's not a whole lot about boy saves dog as he swims in the lake, you know, to say, you know, it's about, you know, somebody pushed the dog in the lake. I mean, I get it, but if you just
Biden, do you agree today that you were wrong to oppose busing in America then?
No.
Do you agree?
I did not oppose busing in America. What I opposed is busing ordered by the Department of Education. That's what I opposed.
Well, there was a failure of states to integrate public schools in America. I was part of the second class to integrate Berkeley, California public schools almost 2 decades after Brown v. Board of Education.
Because your city council made that decision. It was a local decision. So that's where the federal
government must step in. That's why we have the Voting Rights Act and the Civil Rights Act. That's why we need to pass the Equality Act. That's why we need to pass the ERA, because there are moments in history where states fail.
The best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway. Many times you see people pulling up to McDonald's sitting outside during the pandemic so they could do their homework because they can get off of their. I'll lead an effective strategy to mobilize true international effort to pressure. True international effort to pressure. True international effort to pressure. I got hairy legs that turn turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was trained, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap.
Why the hell would I take a test?
Come on, man. 1.2 billion. So you go ahead and you stack spaghetti sauce at a store and in a supermarket. You control the guy or the woman who brings out the carts on a forklift. What happened? The fact is that I don't remember. We have put together, I think, the most extensive and inclusive voter fraud organization in the history of American politics. Don't mess with them in America unless you want to get the benefit.
Let's go, Brandon.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
There are now 5 minutes to self-destruct.